So we've got the younger three off here in the shade, which must mean that Blondie is one of the ones off to the other side. Definitely looking a little bit scratched up. And looking at the patterns of pink on the nose is quite a useful way of trying to get a rough estimate of their ages. They probably are around 4 years old, these younger ones. And still with rather full bellies. They don't look as though they've been struggling for food, which of course we knew, given that they chased the nkuhumas off that buffalo carcass and didn't even really bother to feed on it 2 days ago. So these three boys have done very, very impressive things in terms of how much they've pushed into the Matimba's territory at the age they are. And this doesn't necessarily spell the end for the Matimbas. This pride takeover could go on for a while, and the Matimbas still haven't shown their fighting spirit, but it's entirely possible that they still will. And they do have age and advantage and experience on their side. So it's not necessarily the end of the Matimba rule. But if they did find themselves seriously under pressure and seriously struggling, Nicole was wondering if it would be possible for them to go and rejoin the rest of the Matimba coalition in the north. And that's difficult to answer, but personally I don't think so. The Matimba coalition in the north has been separate for quite a long time, as far as I know, a good couple of years. And they are separated by another male coalition. I think it's the Salati Lions or the Salati Coalition between the Matimbas in the south and the Matimbas in the north. And they have been separate for such a long time that it would be very interesting to see if they would still band together and acknowledge each other. And the reason that question does become difficult is that it's not uncommon for coalitions, very large coalitions, to split up and then come back together, especially when faced with a threat. However, usually you find it's just that the split has happened within the same territory. Some of the males just dominate more in one area and some dominate more in the other. And they come together in that way when they have to. And he looks terribly sweet lying on his back like that. It's hard to imagine that he will be one of the lions responsible for the chaos that we've seen over the last few weeks. So Nicole, my answer would be no, but I say that hesitantly because it's always very, very difficult to predict exactly what animals are going to do. I don't think so. I think they've been apart for too long. But if it's true that the Matimba coalition in the north is under pressure from a separate younger group of males, then I guess it is. But the Matimbas are not gone yet. They still are very, very large, very powerful lions, and they are much, much older than this group of 5. I still haven't heard any reports from the guides as to where these males are, or the Matimba males are. I think they're still south Chitwa. It's very useful to have your brother or your cousin's head to just rest your feet on. It doesn't seem too bothered. And male lions make such an interesting dichotomy while you watch them, because they are incredibly affectionate to each other. The bonds between these coalition members are unbelievably strong. And they're far more affectionate than they are towards cubs or lionesses within their pride. And yet they are capable of serious destruction. Just want to have a look at this particular male. Ah, that is the big male, and he is limping quite seriously. I think probably that joint got rather stiff while he was lying down. He just stopped to urinate in front of the car. I'm trying to work out where the injury is. He does seem to have a very swollen left front ankle. Lions clearly are not particularly fastidious about their urine, and that's probably a purposeful approach, because he will have scratched his feet slightly in there and the urine did run down between the pads of his paws. So as he continues to walk in whichever direction these boys are going, he will carry that scent very strongly with him.